Hey, it's Phil Thatch. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing really well. And here I am out here at Heather and I's zinnia patch. And now it's mid-August. I think today's August 11th or 12th, something along those lines. And our zinnias have gone crazy. You may have seen them in videos earlier this year where they were much, much smaller than this. And I just got the ZFC not too long ago, and I haven't done any photography with it yet, really, because I've been waiting for Lightroom to support the RAW files coming out of the camera. But when I came home from work today, I'm still wearing my work clothes. I came home from work, and as I was walking in, there was an eastern tiger swallowtail butterfly out here on the zinnias, and I said, oh crap, I got to get a picture of that. And you know what? I want to use my new camera. So I went inside and I put the FTZ adapter on the Z50, and I put this lens. This is the Nikon F-mount 105 f2.8 G VR micro, however you want to pronounce it, lens. And so I put this on the camera, and I came back outside, and when I came back out, the butterfly had left, but there were lots of bees. You can see bees flying around, and there were some skippers. So I used the ZFC and this lens, which I can't show you the ZFC in the frame right now because I'm actually using the ZFC to make this clip. Right now I'm using the ZFC and the DX 35mm f1.8 to make this clip. And I think I'm even doing the clip at f1.8. But anyway, so I made some shots, and I shot, let's say, I think I shot an aperture priority, usually at f11, sometimes a little bit more wide open. So I picked the aperture and I let the camera pick the ISO. I put auto ISO on. I let the camera pick the ISO and the shutter speed. And I used a single point autofocus, and I just moved the focus point around until I had it where I wanted it and laid on the focus button. And if something was in the frame that looked pretty good, I think I put it on the fastest drive mode and went pow, 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 pow. Look, there's a butterfly. So hopefully some of the pictures came out good. Let's take a look at those right now. All right, this is something completely new and different for the channel. I'm going to show you straight out of the camera JPEGs. There's not RAW support as of the recording of this video for the ZFC, so why not just show you exactly what the camera is giving me. So let's start now. This is a sunflower of some sort. I didn't plant it. It just started growing there in our planter, and I could tell it was going to be something cool, and it's just about to bloom. And at this point, I already know from previous use that 105 f2.8 macro lens looks really great at f11. So this is aperture priority f11 1/250th, which the camera chose that shutter speed. I'm in aperture priority and ISO 100. Looks kind of cool with the colorful zinnias in the background. This one was at 1/160th f11 ISO 280 of one of the zinnias. f11 gives you lots of shallow depth of field, but there's still a pretty good area in focus with that lens. Here's another zinnia from the side, really cool looking flower. And here is a skipper. And if I was showing you this picture how I would finish it, I would definitely crop that. Like I might do something along the lines of that, most likely is how I would actually present it. But like I say, I think that one is actually a little bit sharper than, yeah, that one's definitely sharper. I just went through the pictures that I made and picked out the ones that looked fairly good and went ahead and started recording. The skippers are super cute and they are easy to get in focus. Bees are a little bit harder. Here's another zinnia flower. I like the light on it. And another zinnia flower. When there's no bees or bugs around, just take pictures of the flowers. And here's a zinnia, this late in the season, and that thing is still producing new blooms. And I went back and took another picture of that sunflower. A little bit different angle, little different background, same flower though as the subject. And once again, here's another one. And this was kind of on the back side of the flower, so this skipper had the concrete path in the background, and that kind of made the camera meter a little bit differently, and that's why this skipper's a little underexposed. Even in the JPEG, you can still pull that out quite a bit and make it look better. Just because it's a JPEG doesn't mean you can't edit it. You can't edit it as much, but you can definitely edit it. And now I seem to be unable to stop editing this photograph, but that would be more like what I would have it look like in a final product. And a lot of times I would just I would get the skipper in focus and start shooting and just ease forward with the camera. And sometimes I was able to get pretty close before the skipper flew off. Like that shot is pretty close for only using a 105. Of course, now I am on the Z FC is a crop sensor camera. So I was, it's really more like 157.5 millimeters, I think is the way it comes out when you multiply it out. Pretty cool shot. Now that one needs to have the exposure increased as well. Yeah, you can make something out of these straight out of the camera JPEG, sure enough. Now the bee was harder, and the light got harsher when I started trying to get pictures of these bees. Look how cute that skipper is. Oh, that one is awesome. I should probably fiddle with it just a little bit too. You know, these things don't. If you expose it right in camera, the picture, it doesn't need too much. And I find that macro photos are often, oh, there's an ant as well in this shot. They're often some of the easiest to post process. That's getting closer to being a decent shot of the bee. That's pretty cool. Let's see what that looks like if that's, as you see, most of these, what I do first is I bump the exposure and reduce the highlights. And sometimes that is all a picture needs. Because, you can pull the shadows, but that kind of makes everything look washed out. I found that I have better luck just bumping the entire exposure and dropping the highlights. And that raises the shadows without making everything look all weird. I may not be able to use the correct words to describe it, but that's the way I like to do it. So here is another straight out of the camera with a slight edit JPEG of a bee on our zinnias. That one looks like it's even sharper than the last one. If I was going to edit it, I would probably do the exact same things. That one's not too good. I don't know why I picked that one to show you. That one's not too good either. I believe that's the last one, but there are some straight out of the camera JPEGs from the Nikon ZFC and the 105 f2.8 f-mount macro lens. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. As always, I'll have plenty more ZFC content coming on the channel, as well as Canon content, other Nikon content, all sorts of stuff coming. Just whatever Phil gets in the mood to take pictures of. And a lot of times, hopefully I can bring Heather along with me as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.